First, let's talk a little bit about, we were talking a little bit about making money just before this, okay? And how I learned these skills.
I'm quite unfamiliar with the process.
I learned these skills as a young lad, avoiding homework, okay? But, whatchamacallit, there's, MLS has really turned the corner. A couple years ago, Don Garber said, like, you know what? I think we want to be a selling league. He came off that earlier message of we're going to be the top league by 2022. And then when that didn't happen, my guy was like, hey, I got plan B right here. We going to be a selling league, get rid of all of it. And it started to, Miguel Almiron, I think, was like the first like real big, like, oh.
Yeah, that was the record signing at the time.
Record sale.
Yeah. Leaving MLS, obviously going to Newcastle. If I remember correctly, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, the chat will do that. Again, they'll do our homework for us.
Robin Zagini said, Eliutu, how does one spell that? It's Elyutu. Eliutu.
I thought it was self-explanatory.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Did he go to Alexis's school? You didn't cheat enough, Robin.
Yeah, dude, come on now. Also, why don't you just watch someone else spell it and then you take that information, bro? Whatchamacallit? So obviously, that big sale was a big moment for MLS, right? It was a sign, especially to a lot of young Latin American players, South America, where a lot of European clubs aren't as don't have as strong a scouting network outside of watching a couple Boca Juniors games, right? It's a real chance, especially with some of the connections that we have here in MLS, we as MLS, as America, to sort of get a little bit of a leg up, especially because when players do go to Europe at a young age, like if Miguel Almiron went straight to Europe from, I forgot what Paraguayan club he was at. I can picture the badge in my head, but I can't remember.
Olympia?
No, it wasn't Olympia.
I forgot what club he was at.
Whatchamacallit, if he had gone straight to Europe, he would have been on a bench. Would have been on a bench for a little bit or loaned around. Maybe he ends up at, Anderlecht or VV Venlo or whatever that club's name is.
Right.
So are we at that moment right now where MLS is the perfect place to go if you are a, say, sub-23-year-old, maybe still has a little bit to prove, player in Latin America? Is there a better place to go?
So you're talking about players from Latin America? Or just in general?
I think it's in general.
As far as the development to go to Europe. Before you go to Europe, what would be the ideal place to go? Is that what you're asking? So I'll say this because I read there was a tweet from I believe it was Nico Cantor, announcer, son of Andres Cantor. He was talking about the Mudryk sale to Chelsea and how the cost of it. The price of that sale, and how Manchester City bought Julian Alvarez from River Plate, I believe, for something like 24 million or something, compared to 100, right? And as far as game matches,
turns out it's more than 100 because remember we were talking about there was like that 22 million pound donation.
Yeah,
that comes above the sale. That's not part of the fee.
Okay. All right. So it's wild. So
Top Bowley's just out here dropping money.
So when you compare Mudryk, who doesn't have that much actual experience, that many matches, he does have Champions League, and he is a good player, and I'm sure he'll be fine.
And he has played in Europe.
So, but Julian Alvarez, who had more matches, more goals,
and a World Cup,
more minutes. Yeah, I mean, this was before the World Cup.
Still has it though. Yeah.
But before the when Manchester City got him at a very low price. So he was putting out the theory that why is a player who plays in the Ukrainian league is getting so much money compared to a player who plays in South America and has more experience, more goals, has just, you would think, a better resume. And it just simply sounds like that. If you are a team that plays in Champions League and you are a player that plays in Champions League, you are worth more on the market than a player that has more experience, that comes from South America, especially Argentina. They put out some good talent. All right.
But are you worth 4 times just because of that Champions League experience?
According to the market, yes. Because what they're simply saying is that even if you play in the Argentinian league, play in Copa Libertadores, it is not as challenging a competition as playing in Champions League and playing. And I want to say specifically Champions League. I don't know how challenging the Ukrainian league is. But it seems like if Shakhtar Donetsk was not
it's
in
challenging, but for a different reason.
if he wasn't at Shakhtar Donetsk and we just played for another club in Ukraine that was not a Champions League.
Legia Warsaw, obviously not in there, but I'm saying a club that is good, not, but it's not.
So it feels like MLS is getting closer, or if not, equal to or above the Argentinian league when it comes to how it is perceived in the world market and how much clubs are willing to pay for players out of that league.
But I would also say to that point that it's probably risen above it, not simply because of playing style or whatever, the on the field reasons or maybe the training or whatnot. Yeah. Facilities are better here. Players have said that. But also, you're gonna get paid. You don't always get that promise in some South American leagues, including the Argentinian league. There's been problems. Also, political unrest.
The value of their money is very bad.
Right. Are you even? Why get paid? You know what I mean? Cost you more money to go to the bank and cash it.
Yeah.
But also, remember, there's the threats to player safety. A little bit of anonymity you get when you're here. Mm-hmm. Those things I think are valued by players. Not all of them. I think Miguel Almirón said, I went because Tata was there and he wanted me. That was it. Like he's like, I don't even know where Atlanta was, dude. So it wasn't like this decision to be like, I got to get my family out of here. Also, we're talking about younger players. They're not really seeing that I would assume they're not really feeling danger yet. You know what I mean? It's not like they have kids.
Yeah, it's weird. I've heard, and our friend, Ali Menjum, who was filming a documentary out in Argentina during the World Cup, I didn't realize, and I don't know if it's always been like this or whatever, but apparently Argentina is pretty dangerous from what I've heard. As far as like getting robbed, remember his wallet was taken.
Well, he was also hit in a party.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But I have.
You're gonna get pickpocketed no matter where you go.
I have heard of this, and just in general, that Argentina is like just a little bit more like hood than we may think.
Oh no, Buenos Aires for sure.
Right.
Yeah, especially the Boca region. The Boca area is hood as hell.
Yeah. So all right, you gotta be careful out there.
Nothing wrong with that, bro.
I'm just saying. It's just that Argentina doesn't really market itself that way. But
Boludo doesn't sound like you're trapping. You know what I mean? It sounds like you're arguing about a sausage being cooked incorrectly. But yeah, no, absolutely. But I mean, remember what's his name? His family got kidnapped. And then he came here.
Yeah. I mean, those are look to me. Those are like wildly sort of extreme things. But even just
has a player ever been kidnapped and their family at gunpoint here in the U.S.?
In any sport. There must have been somebody breaking into someone's home.
Breaking into homes, yes. Home invasions.
Just straight up kidnapping,
kidnap a family at gunpoint. I don't think that's happened.
Like
that's
in a movie.
Yeah, that's a movie scene. That's taken, bro.
It happens. I guess it's more common in South America.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm not, again, nothing wrong with South America. Great place.
I thought you were going to say nothing wrong with kidnapping.
No. Hey, listen, I'm a different type of entrepreneur. I don't need to do that. But hey, everybody's got their own. Everybody's got their own.
Hold on, I got my friend Jeffrey Epstein on the phone.
Hold on. No. It's a cost analysis phone call.
We're just catching up.
You didn't know he wasn't dead? Pretty sure Chivas USA had some dudes held hostage.
Yeah, that's how you get them to sign for the team.
Alan Pulido was kidnapped back in Liga MX. So, I mean, look, obviously, this doesn't happen a lot, but it's happened. Is there less of a threat of that happening here in the U.S.? Yes. So a lot of players do like the life that comes along with being a player in MLS, which is you have a little bit more money than the average person. It's not like you're working at a factory, but you also get the anonymity. You could just go to go to a cheesecake factory.
Lex just put in the chat, he said you should check out the video from Matt Damon, just correcting that, Matt Damon, about going to a match in Argentina. His father-in-law wouldn't let the kids or women go to the match because of how dangerous it was. I have seen this. Have you seen this? Matt Damon's father-in-law, I don't know who he's married to, but he's is Argentinian. He goes to, I think, a Boca match, and he's like, oh, let's get the kids, get the family, let's all go. He's like, no, we're not doing that.
No. So it really is like, what was the movie where they played soccer in jail?
I don't know.
I forget. It's like The Longest Yard, but like the original one where they played a game of football, if you will, in jail. Okay, that's going to see a game in Argentina for a lot of people.
Yeah, Matt Damon's father-in-law is like, no, the kids are staying. Put on this balaclava.
Yeah.
Let's go to the game.
Matt Damon's like, bro, let's bring the kids to a game. The father-in-law's like, you brought your bulletproof vests?
Pretty wild.